Bill Self. Bill, as you look at that video, one of the many things that struck me in the aftermath, you're walking off the court right there.
Yeah.
De Sousa's close to you. What's going through your mind as you're walking off the court?
Well, it was, it all happened so fast. In video you can slow it down and study it in real time. That was just something that escalated in a span of 2 or 3 seconds. And my first thing, what is going on? I was very happy that, we had 5 staff members in the middle of it, making sure or trying to make sure it didn't escalate more. But it was an awful look. It was an awful representation of who we are, and certainly we're not going to run from that. We got to somehow use this and to be better for it moving forward, even though the appearance of that happening immediately does not seem to be clear. But I know we will, but the thing about that situation, and I said that had nothing to do with competition. Mm-hmm. That had nothing to do with intensity. That had nothing to do with any of that. That was a situation where pride, ego, frustration set in, and then we saw how it could escalate, and certainly an embarrassment for all parties.
De Sousa suspended for 12 games by the Big 12, but your suspension is indefinite. What are the chances that the suspension exceeds what was handed?
I don't know yet. I spoke with my father yesterday, and he said, well, son, usually when I've had crisis situations like this through my place of employment, usually you may see it a little differently 2 or 3 weeks from now than the way you see it today. So I'm gonna be patient and see how things transpire and see how people react to what's happened. I know that my group is crushed. Silvio's crushed, and I'm not going to back off one bit that Silvio's a great human being and a great kid. I am not going to make one excuse for him or for us in what transpired the other day, but and I will do what's best for us. Mm-hmm. And I hope what's best for Silvio is also connected with what's best for us. And I believe that very well could be the case, but I won't make a definite decision now. Those
who say that the penalties, particularly those outside of Silvio, were too lenient, what do you think?
You know what? I think that everybody's entitled to their opinion. I think that even though my opinions may be different, I think the arbitrator, the Big 12 Conference, stepped in and did what they thought was in the best interest based on, from a neutral's perspective. At the time that it occurred, I could say everybody that's played, you're done. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's how you feel. That's not real. I know that I feel badly for David, because David went from being a guy that was a peacemaker to being a guy that was escalated when other members got involved. But I heard what Seth said earlier. I totally disagree in that there was. I don't believe, even though video evidence isn't conclusive, I do not believe that there was anything done by David other than coming into the situation with a very aggressive nature, which could have escalated, but it did not. So I personally thought the penalties were fair, but I'm also seeing it from my perspective, and I know other people are entitled to their opinions.
To be fair, it did look as if he took some swings when he initially went in and was aggressive.
I don't know. I looked to me as he was standing over to him, and the guy was laying on the ground, and I don't know that his body ever got close enough to ever come close to making contact.
Okay. You say that it's important to do the right thing for the program, and there's a term, in basketball, self-scouting. No pun intended, obviously. When you scout,
is that the best joke you're going to
have? No, it's not. It was not. It's not even actually intended as a joke. As you evaluate where this program is, in terms of, while unrelated incidents, but all the things that you faced in recent years, whether it's off the court issues, shoes, NCAA, this. How do you evaluate where the image of this program is right now?
Well, I think the image of the program has taken a hit in recent memory, without question. I think that's a fair question to ask. I do know this: when you talk about image of a program, in large part you look at individuals, you look at kids, and of course you look at the staff. The staff, myself, is implicated in the NCAA potential allegations, or the allegations that are potential infractions with what transpired through individuals that worked with Adidas. We know that. I know the truth on that, and I hope the truth prevails. But everybody's entitled to an opinion about that because there is evidence linking us into it, without question, through text messages or whatnot. I know that, I own that. And so our time will come. Not one player on our roster is involved directly with that, including Silvio De Sousa. Silvio, and then, you know, obviously up until this point, the most recent thing that brought attention was Snoop Dogg here. I'm personally a fan, but the things that transpired during his show that many, including me, perceived to be not appropriate for a family event. I don't believe it was Snoop Dogg's. I don't believe it was his fault. I don't believe it was his responsibility. I think that it was something that was arranged by our administration that thought would be handled maybe a little differently, and it wasn't. Our players didn't have one thing to do with that. Our players had something to do with this the other day. That's a negative cloud. My staff, hold the responsibility of the cloud, but it's certainly not players. Nobody's got better people in their program than we do.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports, highlights, and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN Plus right now.